Formula 1 is a global sport driving races in all continents except Africa, of course. I mean, why'd you even go there? In America, there's actually a race and one real team currently, the Haas F1 team. But there has been an even more American team in Formula 1, or has there? Well, today a special guest and I are going to talk about the US F1 team and ask the main question: what made the US F1 team a failure? As you may know, Americans are very full of themselves and they can do pretty much everything except naming sports by the right name. And so some Americans led by Ken Anderson and Peter Wintzer tried to get into Formula 1. Mr. Anderson was the founder and team principal and is a real racer. He's been racing since he was young and drove from motorcycles to NASCAR. But after his career he worked in F1 at Williams, Ligier and Onyx. No, not that Pokemon, it was a real Formula 1 team. I also never heard of it. Peter Wintzer is a name that will ring some bells for more people, as the Australian has been a journalist in Formula 1 since the 70s and had multiple different jobs over the years in the sport. He was also heavily involved in the Rich Energy Haas saga 2 years ago, and those two headed the US F1 team group. The application of the team was formally accepted by the FIA on the 12th of June 2009 and the US F1 signed the Concord Agreement at the end of July 2009. The team originally planned to make it a full American team with American drivers, engines, chassis and everything. This failed as they planned to have their second base in Motorland Aragon in Spain, and as far as I'm aware that's not in America. They had to though, just to simplify the European operations for the team so they didn't have to travel back all the way to North Carolina, their original base, in between two European rounds. As said, the team also planned on driving with two American drivers as well. However, due to funding issues and the team obviously not wanting Danica Patrick and their crashers to join, the team opted for some foreign paid drivers. Jose Maria Lopez was signed to the team as the former GP2 race winner had a lot of backing from the Argentinian government. Karun Chandhok was also an option for the team, but after he traveled to America to inspect the facilities, he really said,
"I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man,"
and chose for HRT, also a new team in 2010. Karun chose HRT over US F1 as he said some of the designs of US F1 were F3 and by far not F1 worthy. The second driver who was signed was James Rossiter, a former Super Aguri and Honda test driver. This would have made for an all-rookie lineup, something not very optimal, asked Wintzer, and especially not optimal for a rookie team as well. Being an American team is obviously very marketable for all sponsors and investors from the United States. There was a lot of attention for the team in the media, and due to this, Wintzer and Anderson had the opportunity to go on live American TV as well to promote their project at the start of 2009 when all the plans were informally confirmed. One of those investors was Chad Hurley, the co-founder of YouTube, who sold the platform you're on right now for almost $2 billion in 2006. Due to Chad, the US F1 team had a YouTube channel with, for the time, some pretty good videos on the platform, and another YouTuber with very good videos is DylanJamesGp. If you haven't subscribed to him yet, make sure to do that, as the link will be in the description. And now I would like to introduce Dylan.
The US F1 team had the Haas Windsor wind tunnel available to it, along with a full vehicle dynamics facility to build up its engineering program. And around Christmas 2009, Jenson Button was unpacking some golden trophies, and the US F1 team had produced their first chassis. The team uploaded videos of their front wing crash tests on YouTube, as you can see here. There were a lot of other parts on the car which the team didn't think were too important. For example, the side pods or the engine. This is not made up. Ken Anderson really said that the Cosworth engine was the last thing the team should worry about, and they would just stick the engine in the car when it was finalized. As the engine is probably the most important part of a car, this was not a smart thinking process, and the same thing happened with the side pods, which were not available when asked about it by Cosworth at the start of January. Another very confident plan of the team was to build their own gearboxes. From the 5 Cosworth engine consumers, only Williams and the US F1 team produced their own gearbox. The other 3 joining teams would use gearboxes produced by X-Track, which would have been easier for the US F1 team as well, as there's not a lot to win with the gearbox. This really showed that the team was underestimating the effort which had to be put in to achieve success in Formula 1. US F1 was making payments to Cosworth, but the Autosport director of Cosworth, Mark Gallagher, thought this "we'll just stick the engine in at the end" mentality meant that there was no chance of the team making it onto the grid, and this was at the start of January 2010.
Thank you Dylan for contributing to this video, and I'll go on telling about the shutdown and the real downfall of the team. To completely understand this, we have to start at the planned regulations for 2010, as F1 planned to have a cost cap of 40 million British pounds per year, and this was a reason it would be easier for new teams to join. Ferrari, for example, spent a grand total of 400 million BGP in 2009, but unfortunately this rule was eventually not accepted, and so it would be very difficult for new teams to be competitive. In mid February 2010, it was made clear the team was in very big financial problems, and the YouTube co-founder Chad Hurley backed out of the project, and so the challenge was even bigger. On the 20th of February, Ken Anderson admitted he asked the FIA for permission to skip the first 4 races and start at the Spanish Grand Prix, a smart one considering they had their second base in Spain. However, the FIA didn't agree with this, and they thought the team wasn't able to compete in the 2010 F1 season, and well, they weren't lying. The Stefan Grand Prix team tried to merge with them to still make the grid, but Anderson and Wintzer didn't accept this offer. Furthermore, a lot of the team personnel accused the 2 leaders of fundamentally mismanaging the team, and on the 2nd of March, all the team personnel were dismissed from their duties, and 1 day later the FIA published an updated entry list of all the 2010 competitors, which didn't include US F1. On the 24th of June 2010, I turned 5 years old and unpacked this present. The FIA conducted a disciplinary hearing into US F1's failure to compete in the 2010 season, and the US F1 team was fined €309,000 and were banned from competing in any FIA sanctioned championship. So, in conclusion, what did go wrong for the US F1 team? Well, it was multiple circumstances combined with them being American that led to the team never making it onto the Formula 1 grid, something the Haas F1 team succeeded to do as the first American team since Shadow, and they did this with multiple years of planning beforehand, something US F1 should have done as well. What do you think was the main problem for the failure of the US F1 team? Was the mentality, or maybe another reason like the team personnel or the leaders? Make sure to let me know down in the comments below, and also tell your thoughts on this video. Would you like to see more of this kind of old F1 stories? For sure, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching this video. I hope to see you later. Bye bye!